Hello everyone. We are group 6. Today we're gonna share some slides about group project airline chatbots. Is technology the silver bullet? Let's see the first topic. What is non-relational database? Non-relational database design or non-SQL design organize the data without the rigid table structure of relational database. It uses flexible models such as key value pairs, documents, wide column stores, or graphs. The most popular document database is MongoDB, and MongoDB uses Bison to store data. It supports flexible document structures. A key difference between relational and non-relational database implementation are data model. For example, relational database use a structured data model based on tables, while non-relational database use a flexible model with formats like documents, key value pairs, graphs, or column-based stores. About the schema, relational database requires a fixed schema that defines the structure of data, and non-relational often schema-less, allowing data to be stored without predefined structure. About the scalability, relational primarily scales vertically, while non-relational typically scales horizontally. And the transaction and consistency relational follows ACID principles for reliable transactions, and the non-relational often follows BASE, prioritizing availability and performance over strict consistency. About the query language, relational use SQL for complex queries. Non-relational use different querying method depending on the database types. And the data relationships. The relational database focuses on normalizing data to avoid redundancy, and the non-relational often denormalize the data to optimize read performance, allowing embedded or nested structures. Okay, let's move to the next topic.
For the question 11, in this question, we try to display the 5 common complements for each airlines and the type of travelers. So I think the text reviews are very different provided by each passengers. We assume that the types of complements can be classified into 5 categories. So the following are the 8 categories be formed after counting the word frequency and analyzing passengers' reviews and ratings. The first one is about flight delay. The second one is uncomfortable seats. So in this part, passengers complain about the narrow rooms and uncomfortable seats. They also rated the seat comfort less than 3 points. The third one is about poor service. Passengers complain about disappointing service, and they also rate the staff survey less than 3 points. The fourth one is about poor value for money. Passengers complain about expensive price and low value for money. And the next one is about the cancellation issues. And the next one is about food issues. In this part, passengers who don't recommend the meal on the flight also rate the food less than 3 points. And then it's about poor arrangement. Passengers mainly complain about the arrangement regarding the check-in process. And the last one is about entertainment issues. Passengers who rate the in-flight entertainment less than 3 points. So, yeah, thank you. The categories process, we generalize mainly considering the airlines. By viewing by counting the complaints according to airlines, we can see from the plot indicating that 5 issues of both airlines are the same. That means airlines is not the main factors affecting the complaints. So we can see the first one issue always the flight delay, and second one always the poor service. So we give the recommendation that both Singapore Airlines and the Qatar Airways need to improve their aircraft seating environment and the seating arrangement, as well as their service.
Okay, then I will move on to the rest part of question 11. We also count the complaints according to the four type of travelers, and this data can indicate different passengers' expectations and needs for aircraft service. Next page, please. And firstly, for the business type of passenger, the top 5 complaints issues are uncomfortable seats, poor service, poor value for money, flight delay, and food issues. And according to these complaint issues, we can see that this type of passengers value service and efficiency more. And the common seat comfort issue caused by the aircraft space event in this type of passenger. Next page, please. And for the solo passengers, their top 5 complaints issues are uncomfortable seats, poor service, food issues, poor value for money, and flight delay. And for this type of passenger, they value personal comfort and are very sensitive to seating conditions. Also, for this type of passenger, they increase their concerns about food and service. And this type of and solo leisure passenger has the most complaints, showing their emphasis on crew service experience. Next page, please. And for the couple leisure passenger, their top 5 complaints issues are uncomfortable seats, poor service, poor value for money, food issues, and flight delay. And this type of passenger pay more attention to value for money than food issues, and they care a lot about service and the comfortable seats in the cabin. And lastly, for the family issue, their top 5 complaints issues are uncomfortable seats, poor service, value for money, flight delay, and food issues. This type of passenger concerns about the timing of flight and pay more attention to the flight delay. And as there are a lot of people and they care about the seat arrangement, and their demand for each aspect is relative average. And that's all for question 11. Then welcome my teammates to continue with question 12.
Okay, thank you, Siqi. I am Liu Ainu, and I'll be presenting question 12 with Tianyu. For question 12, our goal in this analysis is to better understand which types of travelers are more likely to raise specific complaints, and what key issues affect them the most. We explored 2 data sets, customer booking and airline reviews. And we use SQL and NoSQL method to extract insights from the booking data and identify patterns from the reviews. Next slide, please. In the first step, we categorized travelers based on customer booking data. And first, we identified different types of travelers. For leisure travelers, there are solo leisure, couple leisure, and family leisure. And for business travelers, they are last-minute booking with 48 hours before the departure. So by segmenting these travelers, we can better understanding their distinct preference. And for example, for business travelers, they prioritize a smooth and productive experience. And for family travelers, They care about comfortable seats and child-friendly meals. And next slide, thank you. So next we analyzed airlines review data to categorize complaints using some keyword-based filtering. So we focused on verified reviews to ensure the data is reliable. So we found out seat issues, food issues, service issues, and some other issues. This keyword-based filtering helps us map different traveler concerns accurately and ensure that we should connect these complaints to specific traveler types. Now that we had both the traveler types and complaint categories identified, so we combine these data sets to analyze trends. And then I'll hand it over to my teammate Tianyu to introduce our key findings.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Aino. And now I will go on to this topic and we can move on the forward page. Forward. And based on the logic introduced by Aino, and we have run out this chart with the SQL and NoSQL grammar. And as we can see that we have linked in for travel type and to the complaint category. And then we got the complaint counts. And now we can move on to the next page. And first, we can have a whole look of all the complaints. As we can see that most complaints are weighed on the seat issues. So as we can infer that the seat comfort is the top priority across the all traveler, because we think that during a flight the passengers are mainly confined to their seats for the majority of the time. So as a result, the quality of the seats becomes the defining factor for their flight experience. So as a result, if the airlines cannot offer a spacious seat, at least they could offer a cushion to enhance their experience in the seat. And now we can move on the next page. And we got a breakdown for each four categories. And first, we can continue on the upper left, and we can go to the family leisure. And as we can see that compared to the other distribution, the family weighs more on the food issues, as we can infer that if the family travel with a baby, so they may have more requirements for the food, because we think that compared to the adults, the baby or the children are more fragile. So for the family leisure, the airlines could offer more choices or options for the food. And as we can see, the upper right for the business breakdown, and I think that we think that most business passengers, they weigh more on the service compared to the other distribution. As we can see that the service issue is mainly equal to the food issue at this distribution. So maybe the business travelers often fly for the meetings, conferences, so they weigh more on the smooth, efficient service from the airline. So as a result, we can suggest the airlines to offer a more personalized service. For example, the quick check-in or the priority boarding or the other services. And then we can go to the downward left to see the couple leisure. As we can see that the couple leisures, they mainly weigh on the seat issues, as we can see that the seat issue is approximate 2 times than the food issue, meals issues. And as we can infer that the couple leisure, they weighs more on the degree of privacy or personal space, because we can infer that they want to enjoy time together without disturbances from other passengers. So, and at the same time, they may want to sit together. So as a result, we could suggest the airlines to offer more flexible choice for there to sit together. And as the last solo leisure, as we can see, that is a quite normal distribution. So that's all for the question 12. And also thank you for your attention. This is all for our presentation today.